Hello, Dr. Swiki here, and welcome to today's lesson. In today's lesson, I'll be sharing tips and strategies to help provide the right support and assistance to our elementary learner and children with Autism Spectrum Disorder. What is Autism Spectrum Disorder? Autism Spectrum Disorder is a neurological and developmental disorder that affect how children, elementary learners, or people interact with others, communicate, learn, and behave. While Autism Spectrum Disorder or autism can be diagnosed at any age, it is necessary to realize that ASD is identified as a developmental disorder because symptoms generally and typically appear or manifest in the emergent and about 2 years of life. Elementary learners and children with autism function on a wide spectrum, but typically exhibit challenges and problems in their social skills and with communication and interaction. Common symptoms that children and elementary learners with autism present with include late developmental delays, late language acquisition and speech, and late speaking, non-response to social cues such as maintaining eye contact and not smiling when you smile at them. It may also include repetitive movements such as hand flapping, flicking of fingers, and body rocking, not talking or communicating as much or as well as children in their age range, not responding to names or actions of affection, getting upset very easily and by very minor triggers, and possessing very obsessive interests. Again, it is necessary that I stress that the best way to provide the right support for elementary learners and children with autism is early evaluation and intervention, and ensuring that the right goals and accommodations are presented in their IEPs. I'll be sharing 6 tips and strategies to help provide instructional support to our children and elementary learners with autism. Tip number 1, avoiding sensory overload. Elementary learners and children with autism are easily distracted and triggered and can lose focus readily. Bright lights, strong odors and smells, and the noise and noises around them can make it challenging and difficult for children with autism to keep their focus and concentrate. To avoid overstimulation, using cool, neutral, and calm colors, and being conscious of too many objects in the space of our elementary learner with autism helps them to maintain their focus and to concentrate. Tip number 2, establishing clear, predictable routines. Elementary learners and children with autism benefit from clear routines that are predictable with as little adjustments or transition and changes as possible. Being very structured, repetitive schedules, routines that are very predictable is a great way to support and help our elementary learner with autism manage their day and go through the day, especially if they are outlined lists, times, schedules, places, and patterns throughout the day to support them as they carry out their tasks. Take a look at an example of what an itemized schedule and predictable schedule for our elementary learner a child with autism should look like. Tip number 3, use visual aids. Visual aids and visuals are a great tool to support and help our children or elementary learners with autism. Visual aids helps them to clearly see the directive, instruction, or expectation that they're expected to carry out. The use of pictures, visuals, images to model and display expectations and requirements are typically more beneficial and helpful than even verbal explanation to an elementary learner with autism. Tip number 4, teach social skills directly. Elementary learners and children with autism typically display challenges in their response to social cues and social expectations and interactions. To provide the right support, social skills and expectations should be directly taught using visuals and explicit explanation to children with autism. For example, modeling appropriate social skills and response to these cues and skills through visuals and repetitive acting out of roles is a great way to show expectations, feelings in a way that our elementary learner and children with autism can grasp the concept and learn the right social cues. Tip number 5, using direct and concrete language. Elementary learners and children with disabilities typically have a hard time understanding, inferencing, figurative language, or trying to decipher deeper meaning hidden in speech. To effectively communicate with children with autism, our language has to be explicit, direct, and simple. Instructions have to be simple. Directives or concepts with multiple layered meanings have to be simplified and broken down so that our elementary learner and our students with autism can clearly make sense of the concept, one concept, an idea at a time. Strategy number 6, providing breaks. Elementary learners and children with autism have to be provided breaks and pauses between tasks and assignments. These breaks may take many forms. Some can be a physical break, like to walk around, stretch, partake in a dance movement or activity. While a break can just be simply to stop, take deep breaths, breathe in, breathe out before continuing. But it is necessary that in the routine and daily schedule of our elementary learner with autism, breaks, frequent breaks, and intervals should be included as part of their routine. These breaks can last from anywhere to a few seconds or all the way up to a half hour. Breaks, intervals, pauses, and stops are necessary to help and support the learning of our elementary learner with autism. To help us, I have created a list of these skills and strategies to help and support our children with symptoms of autism spectrum disorder. Please visit my website to download your free copy of these tips and strategies. Thank you for learning with Dr. Osweke today. See you in the next lesson.